Do you think it's hard to govern a city when you've never run a business? You know, some of these politicians, like, I'm just saying, I'm looking at the outside. I've never been in politics, but I'm like, your whole life, your income is based on, you know, getting a salary from the government that comes from taxes, but you've never known what it's like to be an entrepreneur, the hard nights, the late nights, the things you struggle with. Yeah. These pieces of red tape can make or break your business. Do you think that's an inherent problem in government, is that they've never dealt with a business?
Yeah, I would say so, because I mean, there are business people in government. I know that. You know, I'm not a massive political person, but I think by having a business, it certainly toughens you up and smartens you up and shows you what you need to do. I think having that experience behind you, you're a life person, and you're a life and a business person, and bringing those two together into politics is you've got an addition, basically. You've got more power in terms of your knowledge and your understanding. So more of a background, of course, it's much better, because you could draw on those experiences and bring those experiences into that political life.
Right. And then it'd be nice, like, if the mayor had run a business before, he would understand, oh, you need to know about the outdoor seating because you need 3 weeks in advance to prepare for personnel issues. And they would get it, but they don't get it. No. So they when you're calling up, they're like, next week, I'll tell you next week, what's the problem? And you're like, there's a lot of problems here because you're messing my business
up. I know, I didn't
so,
reply to her. I was going to reply to her, the Welly from West. I was like, next week? What are you talking about next week?
I know. And that's the thing, in government, a week is just another week where I get my salary. In business, a week is a make or break.
Oh, huge, yeah. And this is what we're doing now. We're basically going week by week. Right. It's almost like, how much longer can we do this for? Well, let's see what happens next week.
Wow.
Well, let's see what happens next week. We don't know what's going to happen next week.
Wow.
It's week by week, honestly. You're looking at your bank balance and your cash flow, etc. You're predicting out, but it's really challenging at the moment to be able to say to these guys, how much longer? I mean, the worst case scenario is there's a massive lockdown again, and everyone has to go back home again.
Yeah.
We don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
But we're all living on edge.
Yeah, I know. It's not a good way to live.
No, not at all.
Look, I just want to applaud you for getting back to business and having that steely-eyed, will and vision. We've all been there as entrepreneurs and faced down fear, and you got to move on, and it takes real leadership, and you're responsible for a lot of salaries and a lot of business that knocks onto other businesses. So I know you've been at the forefront of trying to reopen, trying to find safe ways to do it, getting those outdoor seating and just innovating. So just really appreciate you for doing that. And I think you're a good example for a lot of businesses. And just for people out there, it's being done in intelligent ways. And I think the government needs to realize that we need more help and less red tape, and just try some things. Maybe say yes. The business isn't asking because they're bored, right? Like, we're not asking for outdoor seating because we want to make some extra money. It's like, we want to survive. So maybe cut them some slack and give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit. And just try
and show them that they can do it. I mean, a lot of the talk of like, are hospitality venues safe to go to? Well, with coronavirus, are they clean? Well, you used to eat in them, like they're clean because you're eating them. So we know what we're doing in hospitality. We are a clean people. We wash our hands all the time. We sanitize things all the time. So we're doing that already. And now, yes, we've increased that, and we've done even further. And maybe in the future we'll continue to keep doing that. There's no problem. Why not? Keep sanitizer in the toilets so people can do their hands properly. That will help save the NHS of, just colds and flus all the time.
Yeah.
I was looking back yesterday through my original business plans and all my original design drawings and all my original thoughts and writing down and all these sorts of things, and looking back to all my historical folders that I have, and just thinking, I'm not giving up. Do you know what I've been through to get to this stage? Just looking through all that stuff and just think, Jesus Christ, I've been through a whole lot of stuff just to get 11 years this business, 5 years the other one. I'm a small coffee shop, to be honest with you. Many people in the industry say I'm one of the leaders. We just do what we do. But that really yesterday inspired me. I'm not giving up. No way.
I really appreciate that. That's what it is. People, they look at these shops when they walk by and they think they're just, oh, there's another retail shop. No, there's a person behind that with a vision, who took risk, who put their own capital at stake, who's got to rally people every day who are scared, who are panicking, who don't want to be there. I mean, there's people behind that, and there's real stories, their families, and it's like, I think we need to recognize that and try to find ways to promote you, because again, it's that lifeblood of the spirit that creates great things. I mean, you have a very innovative business here, and you did even when you started 11 years ago, and that brings life to the city. We want to support people like you, and not just turn you into a number or turn you into some, global brand. Like it's the essence of what makes great culture and what makes this city great is small businesses like you and entrepreneurs.
People. And the people who work here, the people who work for me currently and in the past, they're the ones who are at the front facing, like I said before. They're the ones who want to support this business, and they see the work that I do, but they're putting in a massive effort as well to keep it going and to keep people happy and to be hospitable to people. And I have so much respect for them. They're fantastic.
Yeah, no, the frontline workers are amazing. Any final thoughts out there to anybody who's listening of things that you could help with or things you would do as your first day of mayor?
The theme a bit has obviously come back to London. If you're out there and you want to come into London, it is quiet. We think it's wonderful and safe. Fitzrovia itself is a beautiful area. Got some great restaurants, obviously great coffee shops. Come in, enjoy the weather while you can, but come back into London and support us, support the small independents as well. The big chains, the big venture capitalist ones, you can choose to support them, but to be honest, I'd much rather support an independent shop and go out there. And that's the good thing that we've seen over lockdown is the local neighbourhood shops. A lot of people are out there saying, no, I'm going to spend my money with you now rather than Waitrose or Tesco or whatever. Support those independents, because as you said, they're the ones at the forefront, they're the ones on the front line. Put the blood, sweat and tears into it. They're the ones who deserve it.